Opinions Playhouse is on the air. Turn the volume up. We've got lots to share. Listen in your car or your underwear. Frank Opinions on the air.
I have a joke for you today about dating. I kind of miss dating. I didn't do a lot of it. I kind of miss it. It was exciting. My name is Frank Opinion, and you have found the Frank Opinion Joke Podcast. A shout out, and I don't even like that expression. I can't believe I just used it. Shout out to AO Creatives, aocreatives.com. If you're interested in help with your podcast or website, you need to check these guys out, aocreatives.com. Also, please hit the follow button so you never miss a joke. Before I get to the dating joke, you probably know by now I almost always can't help it. I have to tell some sort of story, true story about my life. Not that it's that interesting to everybody, but I can't help it. I have to do it anyway. Dating was something that I miss it in the sense that it's a time in your life, at least as a young guy, 17, 18, 19, whatever, you get your driver's license. It was so exciting. She always smelled great, looked great. You were at your best before you left the house. You put on your English leather or whatever cologne it was, and you made sure you were clean, and your car was waxed and vacuumed. And it was a ritual because you wanted her to have a good time and you wanted her to like you. And it was also scary because I wasn't, the best looking guy in the school. I wasn't ugly, but I wasn't the best looking. I wasn't a big athlete, captain of any team. So when any girl would ever agree to even go out with me, I was flattered. I thought, woohoo, this is great. Now, there were a couple of times it didn't go so well. There was a girl in high school who everybody would agree was just drop dead gorgeous. And I didn't know if she had a boyfriend, but I mentioned her to another guy. I said, you ever look at her? You've seen her. She's good looking. He said, why don't you ask her out? I said, oh, there's no way. She's probably got a steady boyfriend. He goes, no, she doesn't. I know that. I know she doesn't. I know her brother. She doesn't have a boyfriend. He said, I'll tell you what happens. A lot of times, a girl like that, she's so good looking, nobody ever asks her out. She never gets to go on a date because they're afraid that she won't go. And she's too good looking for them or had a boyfriend or whatever. You ought to ask her. She'd probably be thrilled. I can't tell you how much courage I had to build up to go up and ask her. Her name was Diane. So finally, I went up to her. I said, "Hey, Diane, would you ever be interested in going out for pizza or whatever?" She goes, "No." Oh my goodness! I can't believe that I was able to even ask a girl to go anywhere for at least a year or two after that devastating rejection. I'll give you another one. Her name was Pam. This again is in high school. And every guy, I'm saying this and it's absolutely the truth. Every guy wants to get some feels eventually on a date. A little handsy, feel a little boobage or whatever. And I had not experienced that. In fact, I'd only kissed one girl or something. And so some other guys they're all talking, and they bring up this girl, Pam, and they asked me, "Did you ever take her out?" I went, "No." "Well, you ought to." "Oh man, she loves it when you unhook that bra." "Oh, she loves it." And I thought, "What?" "Oh, right." He said, "Yeah, ask her out." So I did. And she was happy to go. And we went out. And then after we ate whatever pizza or wherever we went, I took her into the cemetery. The cemetery was a great parking place, great place to park. And we start kind of, making out. It was great. And I reached down and tried to grab a feel. She slapped me so hard. "Take me home right now." What they had done, they had set me up. They knew I was kind of, not the coolest guy. And they planned it. They both said, "Let's tell him to take." She was the most religious, Christian, pure, just the opposite Man, she hit me hard. And I thought, oh no, she's going to go home and tell her dad he's going to kill me. That's what guys think a lot. The girl's going to tell their dad. I don't know that they do. But those were two horrible dating experiences. But then there was a girl named Kathy who was stunning, movie star. Same thing. She had transferred in, was a new student, and she and I both really didn't have any friends. She didn't have a boyfriend. I have a girlfriend. But I would see her thinking, what a beautiful girl. And again, somebody said, why don't you ask her out? She's new here. She didn't know anybody. She probably loved that. So I did. I said, Kathy, want to go, would you like to go bowling Friday night? She said, no thanks. And I thought, oh no, here we go again. As I'm getting ready to just be dejected, she said, but Saturday night? And I went, whoa, okay. And I took her, we had a wonderful time. Went bowling, had whatever food you have at the bowling alley. And then we went on and dated many, many, many times after that. She was terrific, and she was strikingly gorgeous. So that was a good thing that happened. But dating, I don't know, it's got to be worse for girls. It has to be. The prom, is anybody going to ask me, blah, 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 blah. It's a very awkward, you're in uncharted waters, you don't really know what you're doing, but all guys are kind of, at some point, ultimately after the same thing.
Him and her got it on.
They really are. I'm just telling you. If you have daughters, you kind of need to, I'm sure you already know that because you're a guy. So if you're listening and you're the dad. So this is a story about a dad. He's got a daughter, and she started dating this guy. She's 16, 17, and they're getting pretty serious. They're dated a lot, several times, and the dad likes the kid. He likes him all right. He's not in any way objecting to this guy dating his daughter, but his daughter has a heart condition. And he's very protective of her. He doesn't want her participating in any strenuous activities at school, playing on the girls' softball team, because of this heart condition. He's always worried about her. So one night, this young man comes by to pick this guy's daughter up for the prom. The prom is a big night. We got to talk about that separately sometime. The prom. Oh, my goodness. And she, of course, says, oh, my God, yes, I'll go to the prom with you. So as he comes to pick her up, the dad asks to speak to the young man in the library privately. He says, honey, we'll be just a minute, to his daughter. We'll be just a minute. I just want to talk to your boyfriend here. He goes to the library, closes the door. He goes, son, I know you like my daughter, and I know that how this goes. I know that the more people date, the more they get comfortable and things happen. He says, I just want you to know that, and you need to know this, my daughter has acute angina. And the kid says, yeah, I know, and her boobs aren't bad either.